pink star earrings was like, came up to me and was like, "Are you high?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "What is it like to be high?" And then Amy's phone was dead, so she was texting people from my phone. And then so I got this random text message from some random person being like, "Hey, got any more mushrooms? Got any mushrooms?" And I didn't know who it was, so I thought that, then I snuck into Lollapalooza that day too. So I thought that like everybody was after me. And I just like booked out of Lollapalooza ran as far as I could.
Then what?
And then I got lost in Chicago.
What happened to the guy?
He was in the clouds, so.
Well, tell me like, what kind of songs was he singing to you?
It was like, this was like 3 or 4 years ago. It was like it was like Neil Young meets Flaming Lips meets like Bob
What were they, like
Dylan.
love songs?
No. There was all these lights and stuff too. Like just amazingness, and he had the most awesome electric guitar, and he was so sexy.
Was he colorful?
Kinda. He had a little. He had like the hair of like Bob Dylan, Wayne Coyne, you know?
Of
nice
who?
And curly. Bob Dylan, Wayne Coyne. Nice and curly. Just the way I like it. And he was just so beautiful. He was so sexy. I fell in love with him that day.
What happened after you left Lollapalooza?
Well, Amy ran after me, the lesbian girl, and she bought me a milkshake to calm me down, and then we somehow made it to Wicker Park, and we were trying to find Tim Geniak, but he didn't have a phone. I don't think I had a phone. She didn't have a phone, so we were just walking around, and we somehow ran into him, found him. And then I remember I was telling him the story, but I couldn't tell him that I fell in love with the guy because I was kind of seeing him. Even though he was just like a pretend guy. But I don't think he's pretend. I think he was real. I think I'm going to meet him one day. And then after that, I was kind of lame because I went to some lame party. It was the worst and best mushroom trip I've ever had.
How did he like appear to you? Like, how did you realize he was
Well,
there?
the thing was, I found a couple of my friends, and I was just laying in the grass, and I was just staring up into the sky, and it was so beautiful, and everything was just moving around together. And then Carrie found me, and some random person gave her a bunch of prescription pills, and she took them. And then Broken Social Scene started playing, and she really liked them, and I wasn't into them at all. And she grabs my hand and runs me up to the 6th row, and I didn't want to be up there. I was fine with where I was, and I was like freaking out. And Carrie was like, "If you need to sit down, like you can sit down. Like who cares what anybody else thinks?" So I sat down, and I was like, you know, kind of like hyperventilating, like, holy fuck, I'm tripping so hard, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I was like smoking all day and drinking all day too, and I was just like, so then I just started staring up into the sky, and all of a sudden, like, I started hearing this beautiful music. And this guy, like, started talking to me, and he was playing guitar the whole time. And at one point, he was playing, like, every musician, every instrument. He was playing like drums and guitar. There was like a ton of them. It was so cool.
There were so many of them?
Yeah, he gave me some great advice on life too about like how like to never pay attention to what anybody else ever like tells you to do, or like don't let anybody influence you, because the only person that can influence you is yourself. It was weird, but it was cool.
What?
It was weird, but it was cool.
What?
So beautiful. I don't know how I remember it so well either. But But the funny thing is I didn't even notice anybody else was around me when I was talking to him. I was sitting surrounded by like thousands and thousands of people. And I had no idea that anybody else was around me or that there was the band playing or like anything because I was just so into this world. And then I started like, then like people started like staring at me and like being like, what the fuck is this girl doing, you know? And so that's when like I started getting out, like realizing that things were happening, and he warned me not to go away, but fucking society, it does it to you.
He warned you.
He did. He was in love with me too.
Why was he in love with you?
Because it was amazing. I don't know. We talked about like art. It's the first time I ever fell in love.
Only time?
First time.
You fell in love again?
One time.
Are you still in love?
I'm in love with my cat.
Ah, I see how it is.
Nova.
Is she pretty?
She's super sexy.